Welcome back to WIS News Prime Time. Today is World Mental Health Day. It is a day set aside to really raise awareness about the importance of mental health advocacy and removing social stigma.
Across the world and here in the Midlands, we're all being reminded to take the proper steps to care for the mental well-being of ourselves and all of those around us.
We are delighted to have with us in the WIS studio tonight, Emily Boning. Emily, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You are with the Practice Everyday Wellness in the Vista. Love the whole team over there and the way that they have used social media and other outreach to help raise awareness about mental health. Give us kind of the overview of what we should be thinking about, but what the focus is for World Mental Health Day.
So the focus this year is actually mental health is a universal human right. So we're looking at not only freedom of access to appropriate services, but also freedom from mental health risks in the community. So that could be anything from environmental stress to access to clean water and potable food and things like that, where it's really universal and we're not just thinking about mental health symptoms, it's also things that could exacerbate those symptoms.
Yeah, when you talk about access to mental health, a lot of times, getting the type of help that is needed in a lot of cases can be expensive, and there's a scarcity. There's not too many professionals out there maybe that people can get access to. So what you guys are doing, especially when you talk about the different causes and the different underlying factors that you're looking at, it just makes such a big difference. One of the things that we've seen is that it's definitely more on the radar. Years ago, I think a lot of people didn't really talk about mental health awareness. What does it mean to now have this almost kind of like top of mind and top of the conscience for a lot of people here?
It's actually really wonderful, especially with the rise of social media and platforms like TikTok, the short form platforms. It gives us access to more knowledge and information. So when we have clients come in, they already have a basis of understanding and they kind of know what to look for. And then we can more be a shepherd and guide towards solutions, guide them towards a solution that they would maybe think of themselves, but maybe not as quickly, whereas we have that experience to just point them in the right direction and the right direction for them, really.
I want to go through some tips that we, just in doing some research about ways you can really celebrate this day. People, I think, have a wide range of thinking like, oh my goodness, how do I engage in a conversation,
right,
about mental health? But something as simple as you just mentioned, Emily, posting on social media, checking on friends and loved ones. What strategies, and we'll walk through the rest of these in just a moment, but what are some of the best ways to reach out to let somebody know, especially if you're concerned about them, that you offer a trusted space?
Right. When we're talking about friends and family, the short form is 3 words. Are you okay? Can I help? Those 3 words in those 2 different forms are just the baseline. It really gets a conversation started. But whenever we're reaching out to loved ones and saying, hey, maybe I think some services would be helpful here, it's, I'll go with you. I'll help you make the appointment. I'll help you find it. And that's part of why we have such a social media presence, is because you can kind of scan through and say, this might be a good fit for me, or maybe not this one. I'll find another therapist.
Yeah.
How important is the idea of opening up? I think especially for guys or men, they have a hard time maybe bringing up some of their feelings, feeling like opening up is a sign of weakness. What would you tell people about the importance of just kind of opening yourself to not only telling your story, but knowing that once you tell it, it's a powerful thing?
Right. One of the things that actually struck me about what you just said is a sign of weakness, when really vulnerability is such a strength, because you're putting yourself on the line and opening straight up. And I have something that may have been a fault in popular culture, but really it's such an asset to be able to talk so honestly about what's going on at home.
That is wonderful. I want to go through a few of those other tips. Sharing your story online or in person can be another way to really raise awareness on Mental Health Awareness Day, and really any day of the year. Educating yourself about mental health issues and supporting a mental health initiative in our community. We have a number of organizations, from NAMI to Mercy, and even resources in schools and just different organizations who need so much support. But Emily, educating ourselves, I think that's the key to breaking through the stigma, right?
Absolutely, and education is really free online. It's so easy to find those access points, so NAMI would be a great one. There's also the State Department of Mental Health. They've got access to materials, and what's lovely about them is that they're so accessible in the state of South Carolina, and being able to get in and talk to somebody is very quick. But education is just the foundation to the rest of mental health care.
Yeah, another big thing is that there's support out there. You know, there are not only those agencies, but also different groups, or even just a group of friends or trusted people, like even one friend. All it takes is just a very small amount of
does.
people sometimes to really kind of, I don't know, just kind of empathize and listen, and it makes such a big difference.
Absolutely. And part of the friend aspect is there's even social circles like women's group, men's groups. Sporting leagues can even be a very accessible place to talk about your mental health, because we're out there, we're getting sweaty, we're interacting, and it's, hey, you seem kind of off today. What's going on? Let's talk.
I love that. Emily, if somebody has heard something that they've connected with that you've shared tonight, what's the best way to reach out to you and learn more about the services at Everyday Wellness?
Yeah, so my personal therapist Instagram is Empowered with EB. To find Everyday Wellness, it's at Everyday Wellness SC on both Facebook and Instagram, and our website is www.everydaywellness-sc.com.
Thank you so much for helping us to have this conversation and dialogue. Every time we have these discussions, I feel like there's always somebody listening who can tap in to some of that information that's shared, and that's a part of the key to breaking that stigma and just raising awareness and education.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more Prime Time. Stay with us.